welcome everybody to the 12th edition of the Voices of the Voiceless podcast. I am Billy Graham alongside Curtis Axel. Curtis.
I'm pissed.
Is it because you're Swiss? No, that's just.
I'm gonna tweet about it.
No,
that is surely gonna change my spot on the card.
Hey, it worked for Naomi, didn't it? Either way, Jon Fisher and Brad Shepard with you for our 12th episode. We got one more viewer organically, and I want to thank everybody for that because y'all are just the bee's knees. I tell you what. So
we love you.
Yeah, I got yelled at for not paying attention last week, so I'm gonna pay attention this week. I'm not even playing 2K16 or writing, so I'm doing neither, and I think it's gonna be a good podcast. I learned my lesson, and I'm gonna run with it. I guess.
Naturally, I think it's going to be a good podcast because I'm on it.
Well, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
you're a little too. What's the word I'm looking for? Something with an ego. Something with an ego. Okay. Because I'm the one with the ego. Let's get it started with your favorite segment of the week, Brad. The What the Fuck Tweet of the Week. Brought to you by idiots everywhere. Not all the time, but most of the time.
Our What the Fuck Tweet of the Week is brought to you by our good friend and TNA executive, Bob Ryder.
Why didn't I just guess?
So Destination America asked TNA to plug the Exorcism Live special on October 31st.
I don't like that name, but keep going.
So Bob Ryder tweeted, quote, #Exorcism Live is officially the dumbest thing I've ever seen on TV in a long time. Switching channels. Let me know if Linda Blair shows up. The TNA executive who's been asked to promote a show on Destination America, which hosts their wrestling program, and he tweets that it's the dumbest shit he's ever seen.
Well, there's more. There's more. I'm going to keep going because there's more than just that tweet, by the way. And I don't know how you saw that because he blocked you, but oh well. Here he goes. Yeah. Wait, what's that? So he unblocked you?
No, I have ways. He didn't unblock me.
Okay. Well, here's what he said after that. This is only a couple minutes later. Switching back, heard there's a live seance happening after the break. I'm hooked. #Exorcism Live. So probably Dixie yelled at him over text or whatever. Commercials during a seance? Pretty compelling television. Actually, #Exorcism Live. And there's one more. Have these people never seen, grammatically incorrect, have these people never seen a horror movie? Get out of the house. #Exorcism Live. And that's it.
Well, we've seen a horror movie. It's called Impact Wrestling every week.
So I'm really glad that you took James Vanderbeek and tagged me in it because I didn't actually know what that Shabba Shuffle, whatever the fuck his name is. I didn't know what that was.
God.
And
You've
so
seen it.
It's so stupid.
I told you.
It's so, who watches that shit? It's so dumb. I don't know, whatever. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. I don't. All right. Anyway,
well, did you see? And I have to ask: did you see the change on the tweeter machine? There is no longer a favorite and a star. It's now a like and a heart icon.
Yeah, I like the animation though of the heart emoticon. So I'm gonna do an example. I'm gonna go to Lance Storm because who doesn't like Lance Storm? Like. Boom! It fucking explodes. I think it's cool. You see the heart explodes into nothing, kind of like my love life. Cue the oh. So I have potentially breaking news. Potentially. So this is from mindofcarnage.com. I hate to just totally do a veer and do a 180, but this could be pretty big. And I will just for dramatic effect, I'm gonna start from the beginning. And I quote: fans in attendance at tonight's WWE live event in Dublin, Ireland noted that WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins may have injured his knee or leg during the no-holds-barred main event against Kane. Rollins was doing a move out of the corner when he landed awkwardly on his leg. After the match, he appeared to be hurting as well as helped to the back by WWE trainers. And we're going to keep you updated on more information as it becomes available. So what I will do is on my Twitter at Jon Fisher IQ, and I know this is Wednesday night, so you guys aren't going to see it until Thursday. To go back to that whole SmackDown promo that was obnoxious, I'm going to retweet the video, it's really short video of the botch itself. It's going to come courtesy of at DroidStarCom, DroidStar_com. DroidStar Electronic is the actual name. I'll retweet it, and they're calling it a botch. I retweeted it, and I liked it. Bam! I liked it, too. The spot, if you're listening and haven't seen it, it's Kane. He was about to superplex him, and then Rollins botches it, and he falls down awkwardly. It looks like for a sunset flip powerbomb from the top rope onto a table, and he slips and falls.
So what you're telling me is Seth Rollins was in a high-profile match and botched.
He's not. He does. Oh, stop it. He doesn't botch moves, and you know that. It wasn't.
John
it wasn't.
Cena.
What?
Sting. Kane. How many more victims is
Kane's
this guy
not
gonna
hurt.
have?
Kane's fine.
We're all hurt.
He's wrestling a live event.
We're all hurt when we have to hear about a Kane versus Seth Rollins match. Nobody wants to see that.
Okay. If we're being serious now, and yet we're veering off, we're taking a turn at Albuquerque, and we're talking about this, I employ you right now as your boss. Funny, we don't have a boss. Still. Watch, I just retweeted it, DroidStar_com, C-O-M. It's nothing to do with Kane. It's all Rollins in and of itself. And plus, he never hurt Kane. His leg buckled as he came down on his right knee. I've, ventured into the realm of medicine. It's a hobby of mine. And I know, especially for ligaments, tears, sprains, strains, what have you, that looks like a mild sprain, hopefully. If he was able to finish the match, then...
So what you're telling me is this has nothing to do with Kane.
No, nothing at all to do with Kane. It's Rollins.
So you're establishing my pattern.
Sting was a freak accident that could have happened to anybody, and you know it because it was an easy powerbomb into the corner. He's done it to hundreds of other people. He's done it over hundreds of times, and he hurts somebody once. I'll take that. It's not
What do you mean you'll take that? He hurt someone once.
I'll take on a move like that if it's a freak accident. Does it happen once a week? No, it happened once. But and there's also, I'll retweet as well, the part where he powerbombs Kane through a table safely, I might add, and he looks like he's hurt. So let's take off your critical hat and put on your analysis hat. I'm scared because if Rollins is hurt, what the fuck are they gonna do?
Well, the title's going on Roman Reigns. That's what the fuck they're going to do.
So they're going to have Rollins if he is hurt. He's not hurt, kids. He's not hurt. It's just speculation. If he's hurt, how do they do this? Seriously.
I don't think it really matters. It's not like he's been some great defending champion who's been booked so strongly that they can't just plug in the next guy.
Which is a shame. Whose fault is that really?
Creative. No, it's creative. It's the writing.
Unfortunately,
it is what it is. But I don't care about any of that. I'm tired of talking about Kane versus Seth Rollins. I finally thought we got rid of that. I want the hot take on what it's like to click the exploding heart.
It is.
To like someone's tweet.
I think that was all in honor of Owen Hart. I hope that's why.
I don't know. Do you feel like a social pressure? Like, if you if you select the heart icon, there's something more implied there, a friendship, maybe a sexual or a romantic implication or.
Well, I just joined a dating website, so probably.
Oh boy.
Long story. It's a joke. I'm moderately unattractive, so I can find somebody.
Well, that's why you have me on the podcast.
Yeah, I know. Too bad there's no video. You'd be really screwed. Anyway, let's stop talking about this. Let's talk about something else. Something that honestly I don't give a fuck about. I'm sorry. That's kind of rude. But I don't give a damn about what we're about to talk about next. So I'll let you take it.
Superstar Billy Graham announces that he signed a WWE Legends deal. He announced it on his Facebook page on Tuesday of this week. And he'll also be appearing at Access during WrestleMania 32 weekend in Texas as well. Jon Fisher, why do you not care about this?
Maybe because I know the history of Billy Graham. I know the impact he's had on the industry, but he has been known to shit on WWE for the last decade or so.
Well, that's what makes this so compelling. I mean, let's rewind. What's he going to do? Back in time.
Okay, before you do that, tell me, the casual fan that goes to these events, how many know who Billy Graham is? I bet you less than 20% actually do.
Depending on the age of the audience, right? So the average Raw viewer is 40 years old. So the 40-year-old is going to know who that is. I mean, he was WWF champion in 77 to 78. So a 40-year-old is probably going to know who he is. Is it a younger fan that's going to? No, maybe not. With the network, they could know. But they didn't grow up with him. So, but he was a huge impact. His impact on the business was big, and a lot of people don't realize it. So, he was WWF heavyweight champion. Like I said, he was a trading partner with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Hell, he was bigger than Arnold, physically bigger.
He was.
6'4", 275, legitimate 22-inch biceps. He could bench press 605 pounds. I mean, he was truly a larger-than-life figure. And he kind of brought that larger-than-life feel. He had the outrageous outfits. He had the entertaining trash talk during interviews. And people like Jesse the Body Ventura and Hulk Hogan both admitted that they modeled themselves essentially in that aspect after Graham. Scott Steiner called him a pioneer who blazed the path.
And he did. He was the first true big guy of muscle mass, of epic proportions, that he was truly that larger-than-life kind of person. I do agree with you there. I just don't know what the fuck he's going to do right now. Like, why,
The man of the hour, the man with the power too sweet to be sour.
I mean, what's he going to do now? Can he help? Can he train? Can he coach? If that's the case, sign him up. But if he's not going to help do that, then why have him there?
Interesting that you mention, is he going to coach? And that kind of goes back to, previous things that I want to discuss real quick.
Okay.
As you mentioned, of course, his relationship with WWE has been tumultuous, to say the least.
Yeah.
I would call this, honestly, one of the truest examples of never say never in wrestling. He actually accused the beloved Pat Patterson of molesting underage boys on national television on the Phil Donahue show during that big time of, significant steroid and sex scandals. And then he later admitted, oops, sorry, it wasn't true. He was just bitter, about his health and the end of his career. They brought him back in 2004. Triple H inducted him into the Hall of Fame. He became a consultant, and they even released a DVD and his autobiography. Then his deal ended in 2007. They were making a lot of financial releases to save money, and he was a casualty of that. And he began knocking the company publicly again, requested openly to be removed from the WWE Hall of Fame, specifically because of Abdullah the Butcher, who was inducted during WrestleMania 28 weekend.
Yes.
He alleged that Abdullah bladed others, and of course Abdullah has hepatitis, right, and is believed to have possibly infected others. That's total rumor, don't know that. So, of course, you've got that, and he rallied against Linda McMahon's Senate campaign, claiming she was distancing herself from a racy product that made her a lot of money as a company executive, which, of course, was true. He sold his Hall of Fame ring, but it was apparently to pay for medical bills. He's got a lot of medical problems, so I don't blame him for that if that's the reason. Shortly after Dusty Rhodes passed away, and he was Dusty's godfather, by the way. But after Rhodes passed away, he publicly disclosed that he had written Vince McMahon seeking to take over Dusty's job as leading the promo class at the Performance Center, which, garnered some heat as well. So, it kind of is a real rocky situation for a long time. So, I just wanted to provide some insight. It's a really fascinating, what would you call it, amending offenses?
So what you're saying is CM Punk's coming back to the company.
What I'm saying is,
you knew. I didn't want to say it, but I had to.
What I'm saying is never say never in pro wrestling.
No, you're right. I agree with you 100%. I do.
Yep. And Graham's not in great health. I mean, he's 72, and he's had a lot of serious medical problems surrounding, his admitted steroid abuse and hepatitis C. And
which is something we'll talk about later, by the way.
Yeah. He's been hospitalized as late as last year. So, it's good to see one of their big stars from an older generation mending fences with them, before another wrestler dies. I mean, that's just the reality.
Yeah, I know. And which is good. You're absolutely right. Moving on to a topic a little bit similar, if you want to talk about controversy. Dolph Ziggler stating on Twitter that he believes wrestling is the least important aspect of the wrestling industry during a Twitter Q&A. Thoughts?
Well, I would say, how does he define wrestling? Is he referring to, headlocks and elbow smashes and clotheslines? Is he referring to the whole package, like, the in-ring work, including the psychological components? That's what I'd want to know. How does he define wrestling? But, for me, there's been what I would call, an evolution of wrestling from storylines and build on, and a build on a focus, a climax.
Yeah.
It was all about telling a story, and now it's more about focusing on the work rate of the match. Fans are more interested now, in this 5-star bullshit that did he have a 3-star match, a 5-star match? Who cares? Was it entertaining? Was the crowd into it? Was it telling a story? That's what I want to know. So, wrestling has evolved in that regard. So I would say right now, based on the temperature of the WWE product, he's probably right. What do you think?
I mean, I'll say this. Excuse me. Sorry, I've been hanging out with Batista and his wife. I think if we're talking in 2010, he's absolutely right. Because there was a time toward the mid-2000s fizzled out and died. And that was the end of what SmackDown was and what began what Raw wanted to be. I remember one pay-per-view, and you have to help me here. Capital Punishment. This is wild, kids. Capital Punishment, John Cena versus R-Truth for the WWE title.
Well, that does sound like capital punishment for the fans.
Trust me, it was. I've never seen the WWE so boring. And and a lot of people right now think it's boring. It's not, sort of, but there's a lot of inconsistencies, and no one can argue that. That's just the truth. But it's not boring to a lot of people. It's boring to some, but not to a lot. Wrestling in 2010, I think that was since the early 90s. I'm sorry, not early 90s, the mid 90s and the 80s. Sorry, dude, the 80s were kind of boring. Wrestling was boring.
The 80s were fantastic. Are you kidding me?
Hold on. I don't want to get this fucked up. I retract that. Mid 90s. I'm trying to think of the era right before Hogan. That it was a lull. You can't argue that. There was a lull before Hogan when they brought him in.
Well, you had the Iron Sheik and Bob Backlund right before Hogan when he came in and he beat the Sheik for the championship.
I hate Bob Backlund. Seems like a nice guy, but good worker. But he was never my favorite. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah, I say sorry a lot. I'm trying to figure out this Seth Rollins thing for all of you, and there's a lot of things going on. He was.
Plus, he's getting a lot of messages on his dating profile too, folks.
You're right. Yeah, plentyoffish.com. Look me up. Bob Ryder TNA. That's if only. But seriously, the mid '90s was boring. Right before the Attitude Era, and right after when and Hogan was hot, and the Warrior, Savage, all of those guys. The Golden Age and the Attitude Era in between that was fucking shit. That's why the Attitude Era came to be. It's not boring anymore, but there is more of a focus on the wrestling. Look at NXT. Look at the U.S. Open Challenge. Look at the tournament that was set up last week on Raw. I have to argue against Ziggler's point to where it's not about the wrestling. If he was in a main event spot, he wouldn't have said that. Let's be fair here. He just wouldn't have.
Well, I think there's too much of a focus now on in-ring competition, especially from the fans and the company. And, what the WWE, what NXT more specifically, they're looking for in-ring workers. They're not looking for, people who can act or, cut a really good promo or, they have a tip-top physique. They're looking for people who can perform in-ring.
Yeah.
And to me, I want larger-than-life characters. I want people that can build a story and cut promos and deliver on something exciting, a fight. That doesn't mean that you have to have a 5-star match. It means you tell an exciting story. So I don't care if they can do 20 goddamn flippity-doos, 30 million super young bucks bullshit kicks. I want a story.
And that's why
I want the build and drama to a story of people who look like they're going to tear each other's heads off. That's what I want. And so it doesn't have to be a great match. The biggest drawing TV match of all time
is what?
Ever is Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Yep, ever. And even in those numbers back then.
Do you think that match would hold up to today's in-ring standards?
Fuck no.
But it was over as fuck. It was huge. It didn't matter. They told a story, and people wanted to see it. They didn't care that they weren't doing 20 million flippity-doos. And that's the problem today. That's all I have to say.
I don't think they're just given enough chances to tell a story. The last true great storytelling were in the last 5 years. On the main roster, NXT is a whole different story. CM Punk and John Cena. I know I always go back to that, but it set a precedent for this era. And Daniel Bryan and Triple H. Daniel Bryan really in and of itself. I don't know how you argue against that. Those are the last true stories. And on top of that, those were something that was different. It was just different. And CM Punk, that told a story of somebody who was brought down by establishment more times than one, keeping fighting back roadblock after roadblock, as he said, and finally captured and beat, quote-unquote, Superman, the New York Yankees. Daniel Bryan, same thing, but he was always thought of the underdog. He was too small, B-plus player. And look what happened. What a fucking moment at WrestleMania. At Money in the Bank 2011, what a fucking moment. There hasn't been a moment on the main roster that has even been close to rivaled that. Maybe a Lesnar Undertaker at 30 just because of the circumstances. But after WrestleMania 30, truly think about it. What was that huge holy shit moment that told a story that people talk about now? Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 31? Maybe. But, I mean, I'd be damned if people tell me that Lesnar and Reigns was a great match. It was powerful and forceful. And that's what I was hoping the purpose would be. Rare moments like that are coming way too far in between right now. And that's why the ratings are so bad. And that's why
they've lost the casual fan. Why would you lose the casual? What does the casual fan want to see? Let me tell you this. The 5-star matches, this in-ring stuff that they're promoting in places like NXT, that appeals to primarily one group. The smart fans, the smarts, whatever you want to call them. That's who it caters to. Well, guess what? Meanwhile, all of your casual viewers are gone. You've lost millions and millions of your audience. The casual fan has tuned out. Okay. What does a casual fan want to see? They want to see these characters, these larger-than-life people. They don't want to see a 30-minute, 5-star match on Raw with no story and a guy who looks like, he came from a 7-Eleven and jumped in the ring. That's a problem. That's a problem. As a business, that's a problem.
If you're talking Ambrose, he's just have not had a chance to do what he's capable of doing. So I disagree on him. I will back him up because he hasn't been given a chance, oddly enough. Even the casual fan, let's social experiment for just you and me. The casual fan loved the Shield. Loved it, and either they loved them or hated them. Why did that work? I'm asking you. Everyone loved the Shield.
Who's everyone? A lot of the casual fan is tuned out. The ratings show it.
All right, then fuck my logic. Maybe wrestling just isn't popular anymore. It's just not.
Well, it's changed. It's evolved into something different that doesn't cater to any casual audience. And the problem is you're catering to a smart fan audience that isn't going to be enough to make you you look at the ratings. The ratings again this past Monday on Raw.
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later.
But it's in the shitter. Okay? So obviously what you're doing is not working. I don't need to see a 2 or 3 segment match on Monday Night Raw. What I want to see is a shorter match. Give me maybe 10 minutes. Put a build around it. Give me a hook so that I come back for the commercial break and I'm excited to see the next segment. That's TV. And it's, you look at any show on primetime television that's not wrestling, and that's the kind of thing they do.
Yeah.
And so, they have this formula that's just not working.
Then what has to change? We'll get to that later. Okay? We need to move on. Should steroids be allowed in professional wrestling? I'll be very short on this one. No, absolutely not. Fuck no. Fuck that shit. Absolutely not. No way, no how. Because I'm aware, as many, I know you are too. But steroids hurt people, ruin people, and kill people. Sounds harsh, but it's true, guys. A lot of people have died from steroid use. What? Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
Who has died from steroid use?
From years of steroid use, the heart attack for Eddie Guerrero was number 1.
Okay, yeah. But Eddie Guerrero was allegedly taking other drugs as well.
But all right, I can go right now on the internet because I'm on the internet and say the side effects of steroids. And they will all be negative aside from getting big muscles. Seriously. They're illegal too. They're illegal in any state.
They're not illegal if they're prescribed by a doctor. There's doctors all over the country that will prescribe HGH and steroids to their patients under a doctor's care with an appropriate dose. And I wouldn't call them performance enhancing drugs. This isn't sports. This isn't baseball. Okay? They're not going to hit another 20 home runs if they take steroids in wrestling. It's entertainment. It gives them no competitive advantage. There's nothing unfair about it. And the fact is, this is a standard thing in Hollywood. You talk about Sylvester Stallone. He admitted to doing steroids during some of the Rocky movies for the role. It's entertainment. You have to play the part. You have to look the part. And so if these guys want to do that and it doesn't harm anyone,
it harms.
I don't see what the problem is.
It harms the user. And this is from the Mayo Clinic, the top.
But that's their decision.
Of course it is.
Yes,
it is. Yes, it is. But do you want to see people go through that? What if there's a bad reaction and someone goes nuts in the ring and really starts to hurt them? That's possible.
Go nuts in the ring? What are you talking about? I think you've been I don't know. I think you've been are you drunk?
No, I'm actually drinking water. No beer tonight for me.
Okay.
Maybe later. Listen, all right, from the Mayo Clinic, here are, in rare instances, I'll say rare, because I'm not going to just go exaggerating all over the place. Following side effects could occur: infection, allergic reactions, bleeding into the joint, rupture to a tendon, skin discoloration, weakening of the bone, ligaments, and tendons from frequent repeated injections into the same area. So, to your point, if it's prescribed by a doctor, used responsibly, and always overseen by a medical professional, fine. That's fine. However, steroids can also be addictive, and allergic reactions, yes, steroids could affect the brain and make you do stupid shit. It's very possible. And people overuse steroids. They abuse it. Drug abuse is steroid abuse. Steroid abuse is one part of drug abuse. It happens to too many people and too many things. They take steroids to get rid of the pain. Steroids can be a painkiller.
You've just described the entire pharmaceutical industry. I could list more drugs that you see on a daytime TV commercial for high blood pressure or, restless leg syndrome or, name a million symptoms you have. And these drugs have a gazillion side effects. Have you listened?
Yes, of course I have.
Okay. So it could be harmful to anyone. Any of these drugs could be harmful.
Then
Guess
why
what?
risk it? Honestly, though, why risk it?
What you're looking at is an opportunity to play a role and be a star and be larger than life. Now, I don't think it should be required. I don't think there should be any pressure, but I don't think they should be told they can't do it either. It should be totally up to them.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like steroids. That's just me.
Have you taken steroids?
I have had to take steroids for being sick. Yeah. I think only once or twice, though, in my life. So I really have never had to.
Rate your roid rage on a scale of 1 to 10.
I've never had roid rage. 7. Actually, 4 out of 10. I'm like Bret Hart.
Are you one or a Scott Steiner?
Bret Hart. Bret Hart. Look, dude, roid rage is real. Even people compare Chris Benoit's murder-suicide. I wanted to get that right. Murder-suicide to roid rage. They do.
But it wasn't. He had the brain of an elderly person. His brain was mush.
From what? From concussions and?
Yes, concussions.
Drug use. It's 2. Concussions played a big part.
That had nothing to do with it. Steroids had nothing to do with his brain decomposing and degenerating.
I think steroids are bad. And roid rage is real. It has happened. It's not some myth. It's legitimate. We're never going to know until we talk to a doctor. And I have the perfect person if we wanted to get him in next week to talk about it. If he's free, of course.
Dr. Phil? Oh, sorry. That's for your dating stuff.
Her name's Oprah. All right. I think we've covered that enough. Now I'm going to read something. That's not perfect anymore. Haha. That was funny, if you will. It's funny to you because you know what I'm talking about.
I sure do.
So, and I quote, Matt. I almost called you Matt. Brad, I'm going to have you guess who said this. All right.
I've been called worse.
I know you have. Probably by me. I'm the son of Mr. Perfect, for Christ's sake. And I'm damn good. The sidelines ain't no place for a starter at WWE.
Curtis Axel.
Yeah, Curtis Axel's pissed because he wants more TV time. Should he get it?
So it all kind of, started from essentially what looks like a Twitter troll. A fan had noted at a show last week that Sandown Axel got one of the biggest pops of the night. And a troll replied and said, hey, let's be honest here. It wasn't because of Curtis Axel.
Oh.
Axel was tagged in all of the tweets and made a poor choice, in my opinion, in engaging the fan in a back and forth. And in a much like what would happen in a WWE ring, he lost. This led to other tweets of him complaining, of course, like you had mentioned, he's Mr. Perfect's son. Like, I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. He called a bunch of fans marks and morons and pieces of crap. Said he was going to sleep that night in his pile of money. He'll do whatever he wants. Now he's going to go out and he's going to grab what is his, which, may be a pink slip if this continues.
Well, then, okay, if it happens to him, it should happen to Naomi too, right? Because she also complained on social media.
Well, she complained, but she didn't call the fans a bunch of stupid marks and morons and pieces of crap.
Good point. So, what do you do? What do you do if you're Curtis Axel?
Well, first of all, you go to Walmart and ask where the charisma aisle is, because this guy clearly needs it.
I thought they had something going when he was a Heyman guy. I really did. It was something different. You know, I wasn't expecting he got rebranded. I was a fan. I was, truly. And then, you can't tell me his Royal Rumble thing was just not fucking awesome, because that was entertainment.
It was okay.
Oh, jeez. You suck. Never mind, then. Never mind. Doesn't matter what I think. Nope, because I'm always wrong. He was one of the most over men in the company when he was doing his Royal Rumble gimmick. That was brilliant.
So what you're saying is he didn't come up with it?
No, it was total circumstance, and it worked. You need to watch the Table for Three edition of Curtis Axel.
I saw it. I saw
it.
Yeah, with the Miz and so
yeah,
in our truth and the Miz is talking about Curtis Axel calling into his fantasy football Sirius radio show and using profane language towards him over a football conversation in front of his own children.
Maybe it was roid rage. Oh, no. That was a bad joke.
Well, if he's on steroids, then he needs to, up the dose because, it's not working.
I don't know. Oh, well. It doesn't matter. He's not going to get TV time, so why even talk about it? Truthfully. Jimmy Snuka's attorney, and we prepared for this earlier on Twitter. It was just the other day, actually. Jimmy Snuka's attorney tells the judge during his arraignment that his client has post-concussion syndrome and dementia and doesn't know what day it is or where he is, which is why he missed his court date. Talk about it.
Well, Jimmy Snuka reminds me of a cat. He's got 9 lives. But I kind of have to wonder here. They're setting the temperature here for this trial by mentioning the post-concussion syndrome, and leading into the dementia. And, hey, he doesn't know what the hell is going on. So, sorry, he can't testify. The witness is dead. This happened a gazillion years ago. This is the perfect defense for him to get off scot-free.
Yeah.
So, is it true? Is it not? I don't know. I'm just a guy on a podcast. But the interesting tie-in to me is the attorney talking about the post-concussion syndrome as the reason, basically, for him not knowing what the hell is going on. Well, there's only one thing he's done that would be a cause of post-concussion syndrome,
which is?
And that was professional wrestling.
Yep.
And by the way, there's been a big concussion lawsuit going on against WWE. So this it could be piggybacking off that, but this is a huge deal if the attorney does decide to link the post-concussion syndrome of Jimmy Snuka to WWE. This could end up being a PR situation for them, a disaster.
Here's my thing. WWE should stay out of it. That's my thing. Because why get involved? Seriously, what's the point?
Well, I think it depends. Are they going to, if they link this to WWE and kind of call them out, do you think they should not respond?
Don't respond. Stay the fuck out of it. Period. They don't need any negative PR. In fact, their PR has never been better right now. Stay the fuck away. Eliminate all of your ties to him. Yeah, make him seem like he never happened. Who cares? Yeah, apparently what happened with Roddy Piper is he hit himself over the head with a coconut on Piper's Pit. Stay the fuck away from negative press. Not all press is good press. I would know. I'm in journalism. It's not the way it works. There is good press. There is bad press. Stay the fuck away from Jimmy Snuka. Enough said. If somebody says anything, say no comment. If somebody wants to talk about it, say no. Don't talk about it. Don't associate yourselves with it, and everyone will be fine. Except for Snuka, because you won't remember. And that's the point. He doesn't fucking remember anything. If he truly has dementia and memory loss, he doesn't fucking know. As harsh as that sounds, it's not any of his business because the WWE is not associated with him anymore except in memories and in the record books.
Huh. On the other hand, he can hide his own Easter eggs.
That's a good one. All right, so we have that covered. I think Snuka is going to be fine, get off scot-free. And if, in fact, WWE gets involved, it's stupid. It should not happen. Just shouldn't happen. Okay. Hit or miss time. A review of Monday Night Raw. Well, I actually kind of liked it. But, you see, you could have been positive with these two topics. So we have two things of hit or miss. You picked the two fucking worst.
Okay, but nobody wants to hear a couple of guys stroking off WWE. It's goddamn, this is fantastic, compelling television.
So we're not going to be.
Nobody wants to hear that. It was a pretty good show in comparison to the ones we've had lately. Yeah, it sucked in the ratings, but who cares? Let's talk about some interesting stuff.
So we're not going to be Chair Shot Reality, is what you're telling me, and Justin LaBar.
I don't ever want to be Justin LaBar. First of all, the guy's younger than I am, probably, and balding. That would be the first mistake.
I think he's 28 or 29. I think I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Wow.
I can check.
Wow.
I have dirt on him that can get him fired from any job, but I can't do that to somebody. It's technically slander, so I'm not allowed. It's illegal. But
yes, but we'll get more listeners. Come on, let's get the scoop here.
I can't do it.
Okay.
It's slander. I could get arrested. Seriously. Like it's not a federal offense by any means, but it can be, slander's bad. It's just really bad.
Well, we'll play the secret game off the air. How's that?
Yeah, absolutely. It sucks to be you guys listening. All right, hit or miss. The booking of Sheamus as the current holder of the Money in the Bank briefcase. I wonder what Brad's gonna pick.
Miss.
Of course. Does this even need talked about?
Now poorly, no momentum. What I would do, honestly, is I would have him cash in soon, lose, and just move on to something else.
Honestly, okay, you're gonna think I'm nuts. Why not him and Barrett go for the tag team titles? They're Team Euro, aren't they? They could add a new element to it. Another tag team in the mix. Who cares?
No, I'm fine with that. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, wait, what? Say that again. Say that again.
No, I think that's a good idea. I actually tweeted that today in response to someone who tweeted me.
Whose idea was it? Whose idea was it, though, right now? Just right now.
That was yours. That was yours.
Say that again?
Brad Shepard.
All right, you're right. Sheamus is just fucking terrible, and the way they're booking him is completely asinine.
His whole Money in the Bank reign, it's fallen flat.
It has. Yeah. But then again, because nobody cares about him. If somebody could have won it like a rejuvenated star, or not rejuvenated, more so new star like a Kevin Owens, was he up by then? No, he wasn't. He wasn't up by then. Neville would have been interesting. If Sami Zayn didn't get hurt, that could have been interesting. I don't know if he was yet, but that could have been pretty good. I know he was hurt for a little bit in the summertime. A lot of other people could have won it. Fuck. But he did. That's it. That is it. Okay, it was a miss too. Shame. It's so bad. It's worse than The Miz in 2009. Horrible. And I was a fan of The Miz back then too. When he won the title against Orton, he got a huge pop that night. If you go back and listen to it, people freaked out that he won. And he wasn't a bad champion either. He was a dick, and he was a good dick. And he used Alex Riley as his bitch, and it actually was pretty successful. But no, this Sheamus is just fucking awful. And if he ever wins the title, and want to know what's scary? What if Rollins really is hurt? Sheamus cashes in next week on Raw. They both go to Survivor Series, and Reigns beats Sheamus for the title.
Wow, we get the feud we've always wanted.
Sheamus and
Roman Reigns. That'll increase ratings.
That'd be the worst feud ever. No, the worst feud ever is Big Show and Kane. But like it.
Speaking of Big Show, okay. Did you hear?
Yeah, I saw.
Oh my God, he's on the tour. They're in Dublin tonight on the Euro Tour, WWE live events.
Which, by the way,
and he's a face, and he's in a handicap match, and he's the face, and he's facing your buddy Curtis Axel, and who else was it?
I don't know.
The Miz. I think it's the Miz.
Really?
Yeah, the Miz and Curtis Axel, and Big Show is the face, and it's a 2-on-1 handicap match, I think.
Well, it's good though. Sheamus and Finn Balor wrestled in Dublin in a really good match, apparently, and Sheamus put over Balor and raised his hand after the crowd, which is really cool.
Was that Fit Finley or Finn Balor?
Finn Balor, Fit Finley. The fuck? Where'd that come from?
Well, Ric Flair was there tonight in Dublin for the live event. And he was pumping up the crowd, telling them the match, and he was referring to Finn Balor and called him Fit Finley. So clearly Flair's already drunk.
Shut the fuck up! He didn't do that.
He really did. He did that. It's a thing.
Do you have video of this somewhere?
One of the fans who was at the event tweeted about it.
Oh my goodness! What did it? All right. Okay. So we're gonna have to go to this right now because this just solidified what it's gonna be. This is coming in early.
Paige, you are a bitch. How can you do this to my daughter? Hey,
Ric Flair, I love you.
Yeah. Paige, you are the man. You're hot.
Yeah.
Let's do a figure 12 on Paige. I'll do it to her face. I'll face fuck her, and it'll be a figure 12. Paige, vagina, I love.
All right, yeah, so I'm getting this out of the way. My Nature Beer Drunk Flair Stumble of the Week has to be Ric Flair calling Finn Balor Fit Finley. Enough said. There's nothing else that can come close.
Yeah, I guess that would be it. It's only appropriate.
I know, because it's himself. The Nature Beer Drunk Flair Stumble of the Week is Ric Flair himself. Honestly, since we've had this segment, I think he's won it twice already.
Well, that's only appropriate.
I know. Are you like a wind-up toy that only has one command?
I am.
I guess. Well, then now there's two commands. Yeah. Anywho, hit or miss, because we already established Sheamus being the worst Money in the Bank holder since Mr. Kennedy. Hit or miss. Roman Reigns partly to blame for the 18-year low in Raw viewership this week. I saw a meme today. It had on the top. It had Kevin Nash, or it was back then he was Diesel, and below that Roman Reigns. And the meme said, it wasn't like a joke meme. It was, kind of bringing up a good argument. Is Roman Reigns about to be the WWE champion who drew the least in history? Because right now Nash holds that title.
Yeah, he very well could be.
But I hate to say it, but his pops are getting bigger every single week. They are.
Well, the past few weeks they've been good, but you have to, take that with caution. Like, for example, I told you about Del Rio. He got insane reactions in California. It was good stuff. But remember what I told you last week. Just wait until they're out of California. When they're out of that primary Latino area, that's what you want to look for. You want to see, is he still going to get a similar reaction? And I could have heard a mouse fart when Alberto Del Rio came out on Raw. So there's your answer.
But that crowd sucked. It's true. That crowd was horrible.
Well, got to give him something, change it up, give him something to be excited about.
It's not as easy as if you go to a shit crowd, you're going to get a shit reaction no matter what. So you can't combat that with anything.
Well, you can combat it by putting on a better show and letting them get
But
excited.
you're not understanding me. If it's a shit crowd, you're still going to get a shit reaction every single time.
Sure, your reaction's not going to be as good if it's a shit crowd. That's true.
Then how do you combat a shit crowd? Fine. Give them a great main event, a great show altogether.
How about you don't?
It's still going to be shit.
But how about you don't hold the show there?
Yeah, if it's as easy as that, and I wish they would. But how many true wrestling crowds are left? If they wanted to go to
But that's their fault.
It is their fault.
That's their fault. Fuck them. Yeah.
I guess, yeah. But, yeah, well, it's unfortunate. We talk about every week how we would fix the WWE. And, I mean, right now I'm starting to think there isn't a way to fix it. I don't know what they can do. And I know the answer is pretty obvious, and it's 70 years old, but I don't know. I really don't.
I don't know that any 70-year-old that has steak wraps drenched in ketchup. Did you hear the burrito story?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So one of the writers made a suggestion during a creative meeting about a burrito. They were looking to get it was actually a reference to the Big Show. They were looking to do something, get him some babyface sympathy, and it involved eating a spiked burrito, because who doesn't love a fucking spiked burrito segment? But that's a different story. So they're explaining this to Vince, and he's completely puzzled and says, "Well, goddamn, what's a burrito?" What? He didn't know what a burrito is. Meanwhile, the guy eats steak pieces wrapped up in a tortilla wrap with ketchup drenched on it every day as a snack. The guy's essentially eating a fucking burrito every day and has no clue what the goddamn thing is.
How did you find that story out?
Because I've got connections. I know people.
Wow. Well.
Yeah. So there you go.
I think that example's a little outlandish.
But he lives in a bubble. That It's hard to deny that. That's just an example of the WWE bubble that he lives in. He doesn't know current events. I mean, this is the same guy that wanted Limp Bizkit to perform at last year's WrestleMania, or he just doesn't understand current pop culture. He doesn't understand anything outside of his bubble.
Well, perhaps you have a point. I mean, I would never disagree with that, because I think it's absolutely true. But I don't know, dude. Maybe this is a fight that isn't worth fighting, honestly, at least from our perspective. But I did, however, come across a new screenshot of the moment Seth Rollins' knee buckled. Brad, I just tweeted it. You should look at it right now.
Okay.
From my medical knowledge, which is slightly below moderate, guys, and you can, like I said, visit my Twitter, Jon Fisher IQ, and then you follow Brad too, the Brad Shepard, and I'm sure he will as well have this up on his own Twitter page, because he'll retweet me, of course. The way the knee is bending, so right now it's his right knee, and the way it looks, he's trying to sunset flip powerbomb Kane. And the spot was actually done very well. It was going to go through a table, and it was going to be great. But the knee buckles on the outside.
It buckles the wrong way.
It buckles the wrong way. So if you're staring at your right knee, it's as if your kneecap went to the right. Wait, am I looking? No, it went inward. I'm sorry. I'm trying. It's like it's mirrored on my screen. The right knee goes completely inward. So if you're standing up straight, your right knee, I'm doing this as I'm talking, as I'm explaining it, your right knee touches your left kneecap. It went at about, I would say, like a 70-degree angle, which isn't good. That's the ACL, the anterior collateral ligament. And if that's torn, because it very well could be, that doesn't look good at all. If that's torn, you're looking at 6 to 8 months recovery at least. Because NFL players who have ACL tears are out 9 to 11. So it's not good. It's not good at all.
No, it's not good. Your knee doesn't bend that way by design. But if that's the deal and he's out, he's got the top spot in the company, and he, hurts himself doing a move and it causes him to mess up the title picture, then I got to call it like I see it and call him a sloppy worker.
But listen, that's what we're looking at right now. That's not his fault. I mean,
but none of these have been his fault.
Well, no. I'm telling you, the Cena one was his fault. I never said it wasn't. The Cena one was definitely his fault because he kicked too high, and Cena's always been a very, aggressive worker. It's that right. What you're looking at right now is a total. It's another freak accident. Yeah, the guy's unlucky. Okay, anyone can jump down and have their knee bent, buckle the other way. That shit happens. It's not his fault. Like I said, from looking at it objectively, that's just landing on your knee wrong.
Yeah, I've torn my MCL.
Have you? But we're not talking the MCL, which heals quicker and can heal without surgery. ACL tears need operations.
Okay, you know what I did for my torn MCL?
What'd you do?
I went to Walgreens. I bought a knee brace, and I kept on trucking.
You're also not a professional wrestler.
Well, maybe it kind of goes back. Maybe if he didn't do 20 flippity-doos a night, then, that it wouldn't have happened.
But that's him. That's Seth Rollins. He's athletic as all hell and has the capability to do all those moves.
But it doesn't mean you have to do them all the time, though. It's just something to point out. I mean, I hope the guy's okay. Obviously he's a big part of WWE, and we want him to be okay and heal quickly. But at some point, you have to take a look at what you're doing here with all these wrestler injuries and wonder if you need to change it up a bit.
Well, look at Daniel Bryan.
I can't see Daniel Bryan. He's too short.
Okay. Very, very, very nice. Seriously, look at Daniel Bryan. Did he not slow down his moveset? He did.
I don't know.
He had to. Before he got a concussion, he did. It was safer.
It was still not very safe.
Maybe not. It wasn't. It wasn't. But, oh, by the way, hey, 40% off WWE t-shirts, and look which one's featured. Wait, I got to do this the right way. I got to do this the right way. Yeah, so I was scouring Twitter for the, for more Seth Rollins news, and 40% off in stock t-shirts.
Off Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sick of the same old.
Well, there's an advertisement for YouTube like every.
Well, that's it. So they're firing Seth Rollins. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
Too dangerous in the ring. He's done.
What do you mean? He could get himself killed.
God damn, that can't happen on my watch. I could be liable for that.
He could die. Shit.
We don't need another one of those.
Fucking Kurt Angle. Oh, he is. All right. This is the t-shirt that's featured.
Oh my god! Please turn that shit off.
Oh, now just out of pure spite.
Oh god! This is like nails on a chalkboard. You have no idea. My god. This is the part where our viewers, our listeners, whatever, they're tuning out.
It's all my fault. Oh, damn it. Yeah, that when I went to the WWE shop, Pre-mode activated is the t-shirt on the back. It says, we run it, we rule it.
Wow.
What do you think of Brie Bella?
What do I think of her? She's there. I mean,
she's there.
I mean, what do you want me to say? I'm not going to tell you she's some fantastic worker. Oh my god!
Damn it! I'm trying to get her yelling Brie mode. I'm trying to find it. That's AJ Lee, by the way. This is from November of 2014. Where is she? Yep, she won a match, kids.
That's a shock.
I know. Come on, Nikki!
Come on, Nikki!
You know, she's good at two things. Being cute, because I think she's cute. And well, three things. Being cute's one of them. Number two, pointing up to the sky. She's good at that, and yelling, "Come on, Nikki!" in Brie mode. So she's good at three things. Multi-talented, if you will.
Yeah, she's
all right.
Yeah, she's a person.
All right, so our intro clearly is going to be Brie Mode's theme song, the Brie Mode theme song. Everyone's going to tune in for that hot mess.
Yeah.
And the Oscar goes to...
Not Brie. The Oscar doesn't go to Brie because she's a terrible actress.
Yeah, and we're going to have to wrap this up, but didn't she slow down that Fatal 4-Way to Hell and Back? Wasn't that... It was a great... Imagine what the match could have been without Brie Bella. Really. That would have been really good.
Well,
she slowed the
better.
Fuck out of it. What?
It would have been better.
Did you not like the match?
I don't like any of the Diva stuff as a whole overall lately.
Becky Lynch and Sasha were very good in that match. If you
Becky
noticed.
Lynch's character is kind of the shits. It's a little stupid.
Her promo was great. She could talk.
Wasn't great at all.
Yes, it was.
Stupid.
You're an idiot. That promo was fantastic.
But speaking of what's her name? Is she Becky? See, she's so ordinary. I don't even know her name. Becky Lynch. Okay.
You're dumb.
Speaking of Becky Lynch, she's there. She's in Dublin. She's from Ireland, and so they have her come out, and she comes out at the Dublin show tonight. It's Wednesday, and she comes out to Charlotte's entrance music.
But whose fault is that? It's fucking WWE's fault. It's WWE's fault. And by the way, she has the fucking best entrance music in the entire company. That shit is great. Don't say it ain't so. It's true. It's damn true. Her theme song can pump up anybody. Are you gonna go run any laps on that torn MCL with this music playing? You bet your ass you will. I'm dancing. No one even knows, but I'm dancing up and jumping up and down my room. It's great. Fucking, you can get hyped off this shit. It's good.
Yeah.
And fucking, okay. Take off the hat. All right, take off your hat. You got to admit that theme song is very, very good and it's catchy. So, and what's his dick? Jim Johnston did a great job with it.
Yeah, I like the theme song, and Jim has done a lot of good stuff. I can't deny that.
Like this one. Woo!
Oh boy, here we go.
There you go. There you
Charlotte, you are gonna have a stepsister.
It's Paige. All right. Well, that's it. We've been on for way too long. I have to edit this.
Yeah.
Shit. So, do your thing, Brad. It's the end of the world as we know it, Brad.
A certain person who shall remain nameless recently wished me luck in getting listeners and exposure with our current format. With that being said, I'm very pleased to see that our number of listeners has actually increased ever so slightly last week in comparison to the week before that. We owe it to our loyal listeners, and I want them all to know, joking aside, all kidding aside, we do sincerely appreciate your support.
Yeah, we do. You guys are pretty cool.
So, with that being said, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheBradShepard, BradShepard, for news and an honest perspective on wrestling. And also, of course, you can give us your feedback on the show as well. And you can follow masturbatory icon and apologetic Pittsburgh sports fan, Jon Fisher.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that. That's all I got. No, I'm fucking kidding around. Yeah, you can follow me at Jon Fisher IQ, just how it's spelled. IQ. That's turned into my fucking thing. I hate it. I hate that you made it a thing. Yeah, tweet me, Facebook me, whatever you want to do. I love to talk to people. It's fun. Twitter's great and all. Wish me luck. After winning a national award like this, a national award for broadcasting this past weekend for my play-by-play of Penn State and Robert Morris men's hockey. I did actually. I won a national award, which is kind of nice. I was very, very humbled and excited to get the award. But after that, I'm making my return. I'm making my return to the mic on Friday. So tomorrow, I'm doing the high school football game of the week. It's playoff time here in Western Pennsylvania.
Well, we're very happy about that. You've got a face for radio.
I've been on TV. I work in TV. Damn it. I'm not right. Swiss or anything. At least I'm on television.
No blue dots are needed over your face.
No, not even. No, maybe a little bit, but either way. By the way, we've had listeners from Malaysia, Singapore, United Kingdom, and France. Just so you know, isn't that fun? And our female demographic is 2%. This must change. And
is this us?
Yeah.
Is this us? Is this our demographic? I was going to say, because if we're only getting 2% females, you're clearly turning them off.
Oh, no, baby. I do quite the opposite. Either way, no. Yeah, I'll be making my return to the microphone this weekend, so it'll be fun. Wish me luck. And please tweet us and stuff. We'll chat. If you're awesome, I'll follow you back. I'm no jerk. I feel like a follow back is fair. That's it. That's all I got, man. Do you have anything else?
Well, I hope you can do better than that on the mic coming up.
I know. You're telling me. You're telling me just to add suspense and be a dick. We're going to get off, and I'm going to tell Brad about Justin the Bar. If we deem it appropriate, we will debut it next week. Well, I mean, yeah. Honestly, if you really want to know, I'll probably tell you. Just let me know. On Twitter, Jon Fisher IQ, and Brad Shepard, the Brad Shepard. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you all next time. Have fun.
Goodbye.